It's the Daily Dog.
Hey y'all, welcome back to the Daily Doug. Thanks for being with me today. Okay, y'all, over the past week or so, it's been Memorial Day and D-Day, and I've done special episodes for both of them. And I did some calls for suggestions of songs for both of those days, and we got a bunch of recommendations for those days, and I ended up going with songs that I didn't even think that I was going to do. For Memorial Day, we looked at a choral piece by Edward Elgar, and yesterday, on the anniversary of D-Day, we looked at this really remarkable and poignant song written by Jim Radford, who was himself a part of the D-Day invasion. And so I ended up going with those songs and those pieces because they really tugged at my personal heartstrings on those days. But how can I deny the groundswell of recommendations for this song from our friends Metallica? I have been inundated with calls for their song called Disposable Heroes, and that's the one that I want to get to today. It is on a similar topic to D-Day as it's connected to war, World War II specifically, and to Memorial Day itself for those that have sacrificed their lives. And y'all, this is a song that is overt. From the lyrics that I have seen as I prepared today, we're in for quite a specific indictment of war from our friends at Metallica. So let's dive in and see what this is all about, shall we? Disposable Heroes is from Master of Puppets, Metallica's third studio album released in 1986. This album is considered to be one of the most influential thrash metal albums of all time. Previously from this album, I have reacted to Master of Puppets, the title track, and Orion, and I have enjoyed both of them. Like those two tracks, this track, Disposable Heroes, is over 8 minutes long and is among the longest songs on the album. So this piece is not slightly, overtly critical of war, and it tells the story of a young soldier whose fate is controlled by his superiors and what that means in a war context. So we've got James Hetfield on vocals and rhythm guitar, Kirk Hammett on lead guitar, Cliff Burton on the bass, and Lars Ulrich on the drums. We are using the remastered studio recording for this. There were several options for us to listen to this, including some really great live performances, but we're going with the remastered studio recording. Let's see what this is all about, y'all. Metallica, Disposable Heroes. Here we go. It's gunfire, right? Angry. It's an angry riff. It's an aggressive riff. They're on an E. Just blaring away at it, too. I like the relatively slower tempo that they've relaxed into, but the rhythm itself is still really, really aggressive. All right. That's May. Down to Ray. Raw. Flat 2. Down to E. Whoa. They went down to C sharp. Not in E minor. Back to E. All right, I'm ready. Let's do it, y'all. Bodies fill the fields I see. Right off the bat. That lament bass line going down. Right? They went back down to C sharp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. That was an interesting little move to 3/4 for a couple bars. Okay. Back to the front. You will do what I say when I say. You will die when I say. You must die. Wow. They're back in E. The slaughter never ends. Okay, that same move back to C sharp. It's a chromatic third movement that they're doing there. The E is the common tone. 1, 2, 3. That same 3 pattern that's in this section. Interesting. That's just chilling, isn't it? Back to the front, right? Chilling. Every time they say that, I think of Another Life becoming disposable, right? They ain't happy about this situation, y'all. That much I think we have ascertained. Get it, Kurt. New sound. Flat 6. This time to C instead of C sharp. Back to E. Same move. Real powerful riffs. I can only imagine how powerful and just huge in concert this would be. Hell is here. Poor guy. I was born for dying. Right? They cut everything out, and then in that lone realization. Back down to C sharp. Lars doing the offbeats. There's that 3 pattern too, coming back. 3, 4, 5, 6. Interesting that they throw that in there when everything else is in 4/4. You have no say. You're back in line.
You serve it, you blind man, back to the front. Back to the front. Back to the front.
That same chromatic going down.
Back to the front. Back to the front.
We're getting close to the end and they move back to C sharp. It's like flat 2 to C sharp. And that's where they end. In C sharp, the whole thing practically. Well, they're into C sharp occasionally throughout that, but the main song is in E. And interesting choice to end on that in that C sharp key. Let's talk about this, y'all, because it's so quick going through all of this stuff, and there's so much going on that it's hard to get a word in edgewise. But let's talk about what we just heard. It's from the point of view of the soldier. You know, it's using first person, I. Bodies fill fill the fields I see. No one to play soldier now. No one to pretend. And just as we go through here, he's receiving orders from his superior to keep fighting. To stay in line, not to think, just to kill. And if you get killed, there's going to be somebody else that's in line right behind you that will also be expendable. Wow. You know, back to the front, back to the front. And if you refuse, you're a coward. They're like demeaning these people, right? If you refuse to do what we say, you're a coward. You're unworthy. You won't have any continued value. So you might as well do and say what we want. And in the process become numb to all of this, become numb to war. Barking of the machine gun fire does nothing to me now. Sounding of the clock that ticks, get used to it somehow. We become numb to the atrocities of war the more that we are presented with it, right? And this other line, all of the lyrics just slay me, y'all, as well as the music. Really aggressive and powerful and effective, wasn't it? Bodies fill the fields I see, the slaughter never ends. Soldier boy made of clay, now an empty shell. Become like clay to be molded as others see fit, as we see fit, instead of reaching for your own potential and offering your own unique gifts to the world. Your talents are shit. And your desire is unimportant. In effect, your life belongs to us. And how BS is that, right? There's a time, when we came to Memorial Day, that's a day to honor those that have lost their lives. And so I wanted to stay away from something, from a piece that was specifically anti-war, right? Because I didn't think that was the day. And yesterday with D-Day, we're paying tribute to the courage that it took in the face of all of that evil to pull that off for the world, right? And so after we get through all of that, it's coming back to, yeah, but it's still war, and why the hell do we do this to ourselves, you know? So that's what I wanted to get to today, and Metallica has delivered once again, have they not? Back to the front, back to the front. They keep saying that. It just was like a gut punch every time that I heard those lines. And I was thinking about it, and there are a few interpretations we could take from that, and they're all equally shitty, right? Go back to the front where the intense fighting is, right? To the front lines, right? You could go back to the front, just to the front of the line if we're marching, right? Next in line for slaughter type stuff, right? Or back to the front, simply meaning turn your back to your front, turn around. You want to go that way, but we want you to go this way, right? You want to go one way, but you're made to go against your own will and turn around and act as if you no longer have free will. It's nuts, isn't it? It's just nuts. The last thing that I'll leave you with, y'all, is as I was reading in, I noticed the album art specifically for this album. It's a field of crosses with strings attached, right? And the strings are manipulated by these hands up above amid this blood red sky, right? This is artwork that reinforces this specific idea of expendable sacrifice. It's really, really an effective piece of music. And this was put out in the mid 80s, and it's still just, especially with all that's going on in the world today, it hits. It's still just as powerful and just seething a piece today as it was back when they wrote it. So, wow. What an experience, right? Disposable Heroes by Metallica. Happy to always get back to music by these guys. They mean what they say. They write what they feel, and they ain't ashamed to put it out in front of all of us and say this is what's going on, and this is how we feel about it. So thanks to all of you for being with me today. Heavy material, but important to work through this stuff, right? Metallica with Disposable Heroes. Really, really fantastic tune. Thanks, y'all, for being with me today, and we will see you next time on another edition of The Daily Doug.